one con for each of my 10 strengths. Con 1 of the strength 4, my health slash mobility slash appearance. The con with that is that it's tied to like my success strength, but that's a little different of word. So I'll say this in a similar way. The overall like physicality strength I have, the the con that comes to mind with that is that the people don't like it when I flaunt it. They actually hate it when I talk about like how good I look or this is not even just like the everyman, right? Like this is actually like any person who just thinks that I don't get to do that, even though I already knew how to cover myself in the first place. The reason that I would concede narcissism with gratitude is because even when I made videos like that before, I wasn't trying to make it that close together. But there are times where that actually exists in the people besides myself. That delusion of it, even if it was whether it was on purpose or on accident, to see it like that. But in general, with many successes like how I look or how I get around, literally, people hate it when I talk about it in a good way, even if it's not meant to be arrogant. So it comes it's an awkward way to put that in perspective, considering that even being a statue can be its own con. But I don't find that too bad. But when I can't even flaunt about some of my successes and not limit my physical health, then it's kind of awkward, right? So so another like a con of a strength I have is um I'm actually really good at creativity in many facets. You guys have seen this with stop motion and cartooning. So the con with my creativity strength is that I hate using it. I talked with this ad nauseum on my main channel on YouTube. Like I talk about how I have trauma with creativity. It's a love hate relationship, toxic relationship with creativity. I don't understand it. I don't know why I have a talent for it, even though I hate it. I hate it with a fucking passion. There goes my realization. Uh, I hate being creative, but I am absurdly great at it. I don't know what it's for. I misunderstand most times, anyways, and I especially don't know why of all the people I'm the one who's creative, even though I have no idea how to support people who are in my field. If anything, I'm nagging on them about how they do things, even though I'm not helping them in the first place. So my creativity is significantly wasted on me because I either refuse to use it or I just make it look like there's no better way to have it being used by myself than to act like it's nothing but a curse. So it's awkward. Again, that's another one that's awkward. But like, so another strength I have that has a con. Wisdom, right? My wisdom strength. The con to it is not what you would think. It wouldn't be something like as cheap as procrastination, right? No, I'll put thought to this. No pun intended. My con to my wisdom strength is that besides something like as cheaply dived in as paralyzation or procrastination. So a good con to this would be that uh, my wisdom doesn't explain why I'm lost. Like this is a humane way to put it in perspective. I mean, you're always gonna have to like find things out for yourself. You're always gonna have problems. You're always gonna have ways to like navigate your circumstances without being completely fragile or even completely impotent, or the opposite of that being uh durable and uh forthright, right? So it's like this is a corny way to put it, like, because when I say that, I'm not saying that I never knew enough. I'm saying like I didn't have to go about the way I did, and I don't regret that. But it's like if I make that oversum or simplified, but yeah, basically it's a different way to put that in perspective. Basically, again, I think use that word, but the curse, like, because if you remember books like The Curse of the High IQ, if I remember correctly, uh, the way Aaron makes his videos in the first place are revealing that it does suck to be intelligent, but that's not even the half of it. It's like there's not so much the universal stereotypical quote for the more you know, the more you don't know. I'm talking about something more perpendicular to that. It's like if I know this stuff the way I do, it's connected to my last about creativity. If I know this the way I do with my own wisdom, then why am I still like lackluster with most things compared to the average norm? I'm not trying to compare myself to the wrong people or even per se anything like that in any other way. But it's like, uh, but what wisdom implies is that you know how to use what you know. But I am very like experimentative. I customize things a lot. Even though I'm gonna get this in the next strength anyways. But like even though I tend to suggests that I'm a certain kind of person, I'm seen as the opposite by the vast majority. And I don't know who to believe anymore, even myself. But like, I'm not denying that anyways. But yeah, it's different. So like, the next con of a strength I have is reflection, right? My reflection strength. The con I have to that is that, like I said like 20 seconds ago, I see myself as the opposite of how other people see me. This happens at least 65% of the time. I will think that I'm an extrovert, or that I never masked my entire life with or without autism, that I have a lot of friends that are very close to me, that are like have a good number of successes, that I'm very good at organizing my life, have a lot of things going on, always seeking to learn and work, very kind and sweethearted. Imagine like anyone close or afar seeing the exact opposite traits of that towards me. It's like, it's happened before. Anyone who was already close to me also did that shit before. It's very weird. It's like a like amongst other things, I claim to be very hard to annoy or creep out unless I'm doing deliberately for any other philosophical reason. But there are people I told that I was philosophical to, and they were confused. I'm like, you already believe that I'm a creative person, but you don't think I'm a philosopher? Like, that's actually back ass words. Like, seriously, it's just like a more deranged than I could put it myself without being weird in the first place. And I don't even think people even know what they mean by respect in the first place. Like, oh yeah, that's another thing. So like, the my philosophy strength. The con to that is that my con to my philosophy strength is when I appear to be the only person with a certain opinion that isn't already trying to force it. Because usually I don't force my opinions. I don't force having an opinion, even if it looks like this is how weird it gets to be abstract in the first place. Because like, the thing that's weird about philosophy is that you will not try to have those ideas deliberately unless you're already within them. Like, it's one thing to pursue a college major that is related to those norms or those theoretics. Then it's another thing entirely to already be born within its midst, in its cosmos, right? It's like, no one ever wakes up one morning and they say, I want to suffer 24/7 to be a philosopher. No, like, you have to already resonate with what that tragedy is about, even if you chose it anyways. It's like paradoxically speaking, but like, for me, philosophy was awkward because, as part of that con I mentioned before, the con for my philosophy strength is like, imagine being so drawn to your own adventure and mission in life that you still suffer for other things that you don't have to actually go through. Maybe that's takes we're figuring out, but otherwise, it's like what I mean when I say things like forcing my opinion or not having to therein. What I'm talking about is like following my truth to the point where it doesn't look like I'm following my own truth anymore. Paradoxically, again, right? It's like it'll look like you're not being honest, but you actually are. It is a very abstract way to live in the first place. It's like if you actually think that you're trying to be sound and resonant, and you still have an opinion that doesn't seem reasonable, even if it's relatable to certain people eventually, it'll look like you're trying. And this mentions like as I put before, it'll look like you're trying to fuck it up on purpose, but you're not, right? So that's how durable your truth has to be at that point. So as a philosopher who didn't know what his creativity was about, his own creativity, by the way, this is what got awkward for me. So I don't know if I counted this right, but this is about 10 items. So like, the last thing I got, a strength with a con. So my confidence strength. The con to that is that not only do people think that I'm actually full of myself, they don't know how I got this far in my own life, let alone how I'm navigating my own life going forwards. So like, the paradox again, like, use that word well. The thing that's really mysterious is that I hate boundaries, but I need to have them survive. I exploit and dox things as a lifestyle, but it could get me in a lot of trouble, right? Including my own secrets. But I hate privacy, but I need that too for some reason. That, and I don't just say it for like philosophy's sake, by the way. But it's like I am very hardcore multitasking extrovert wise thing about Bob. It's weird. Like, so when you're confident about stuff like that, it's as if I'm denying I have insecurities. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not denying that I have insecurities like anyone else would. But I don't get to generalize that for everyone else to begin with. But at the same time, generalizations can still be a good thing. So the way that will still work on my behalf is that confidence was never a thing for me to concede too closely to ego or whatever cliche that was supposed to be based on, either religious or spiritual terms. Because spirituality will tell you that ego is necessary to be human, and if even more than that, it was still something that you had to incorporate into your psyche in the first place. There are literally like the I have no mathematics screen video game version got into that way more than even the actual books did. That was more poetic in the first place. Like the id, the superhero, and the ego, and the ego, stuff like that. It's like that's a bit more sophisticated than you would think, but it's like but spirituality will tell you more about why the ego is necessary, either way, and then religion will say, oh no, you kill the ego, it's bad for you, some kind of shit like that. Whatever. But my confidence was never supposed to be a curse, but people actually think I'm trying to avoid my insecurities. And saying things like I never masked before as an autistic person, and I've always been extroverted, and I've always been taking risks, and I've always been trying to network with people and live on high stakes missions and lifestyles. People don't believe that on first glance, so they think that's me trying to cover up what I actually meant to say. No, that's actually what my truth was. 10 strengths with each one of the con. Take care, guys.